Hey guys, what's up? It's James from the Fifa Project. Today I'm coming at you with episode 8 of the Arsenal career mode, and I'm in a really good mood today. I'm feeling really positive. I just uploaded yesterday's video, which was Monday. Today's obviously Tuesday, and I took Sunday off as I always do. So I have Monday through Saturday uploads, and then I take the Sunday off, which I'm really kind of just re-energized me. I feel back on point. I feel really positive about this episode. And we're going to be playing Huddersfield in the Cup, and then we're playing Swansea in the league. So in terms of challenges, I wouldn't say those two games are going to be too challenging, at least I hope not. Even though I say that, I do like a challenging match. We're just going to keep the squad the same there, not really changing too much around, and hitting the post again. And that's kind of been a staple of our game, as you guys have probably pointed out at some point yourself, is hitting the post, hitting the bar. But it's all part of the game. I'm happy to do it as long as, you know, we're getting those chances and scoring goals. And similar to that, there's definitely something about this attack, and there's definitely something about Ozil's finishing, which I feel has been different to many FIFAs. And I mean, Ozil's an incredible player. He's not really had a great season. I don't know if that's the manager's fault, or I can't really say that. I don't think it's my position to say or anything, but he's definitely, in this game, his finishing seems a lot better than it does in any other game or any other time that I've used him. So I'm definitely happy with that. And I've got some news for you guys that you may or may not know, which I think is pretty cool, which is, as far as I'm aware, in this current position, FIFA 19 is going to have the legal rights to use the Champions League and the Europa League, instead of before, like in this FIFA and other FIFAs, they have to have the Champions Cup, or they have to have, you know, the European Cup. They can't call it what its true name is. I don't know if that's going to allow them to do other things as well. Maybe they'll be able to add some other stuff. I really don't know, like, the legal side of it and what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. But I think that's quite exciting. I just think it adds to the realism, and for me, I am all about realism. I know some of you guys aren't, and that's okay. But for me, I love realism. The more realistic the game is, the better to me, and so I'm definitely happy about that. And we come forward again here, guys. Not really getting the finish. The touch wasn't that good there. That's something that I think would be great for them to improve on FIFA 19, and we'll have to see what they do. And that's the first touch. I think the first touch could be definitely a little better, and I think that would be, for me at least, one of the big things that they would need to change. And the thing is, if the games go on and the games get better, it's obviously more difficult to improve things. It's not, you know, from FIFA 11 there's a lot to improve, so there's a lot to improve on every year. And I'm a big promoter of both FIFA 11 and FIFA 12, and not so much 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I didn't really like any of those FIFAs. I think this FIFA's a little better. I do like this game, but I think EA, at least is what my assumption is they seem to be getting everything on lockdown, because there's not so much things to work on. There was so many things to work on when, like, you know, Ultimate Team was out on FIFA 11. There was so many things to improve on, whereas now the gameplay, there's not as much to improve on, which means they can get the small things right, or at least they should be getting the small things right, which excites me. So the team was definitely firing on all cylinders in this game, and the game finished up at 3-0, which, I mean, 3-0 was almost a gift to them, because we was absolutely all over them. They didn't really do anything. It was kind of just an all-out dominant performance, and I was really happy with that. I didn't know how I was going to fare against Huddersfield, because I want to know if you guys agree with me on this, but tell me in the comments down below, or through an email, or whatever you want to do. You know, when you're playing a cup game, do you feel like that team tries harder? I don't know if that's just psychological, but I think when I play Huddersfield in the league, I usually do really well, and then I'll play them in the cup, and all of a sudden they're on the game, they're defending better, they're attacking better, and I don't know if that's something that is actually integrated into the game, or if that's just me or not. So as you guys can see, I'm changing the squad around, and I kind of do that a lot on my career mode. I don't know if that's something you do or not, but I tend to change what I tend to do, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of doing this. It's just something that kind of happens with all the games, and what I try to do is I kind of, in fact, I don't really even try to do it. It just kind of happens, and that is I'll have my main squad, and then I will have like almost a second squad, which again I'm not really even a huge fan of doing, but it just seems to be that's the way it turns out with all the games. I've not really got many players that can play every single game, and that's the challenge. And we actually got lucky there. We got the rebound. I thought we deserved the goal early in this game, and then we got the shot. It was a great shot, and hit the post, which I guess is unlucky with how much we've been hitting the post. And then the luck comes back to us with the rebound. And if you missed any of the other episodes, guys, I'd prompt you to go back and watch them. And also, I often talk about luck in one of those episodes or two of those episodes, and again, like I said, then it all comes back to you. So if you get unlucky in a game, don't like throw in the towel and give up and start screaming about it. Just, accept it, and then you're going to come back and get lucky at some other point. And on this channel, I just want to provide fun and entertainment. That's my goal. I'm not trying to do anything else than give you guys some entertainment and enjoyment. And some other guys, and I'm not going to mention any other names because I kind of love everybody. That's what kind of person I am. I just like everybody. But they do these stupid reactions and scream and things like that, and it's like, you're not that happy. Like, if you open a pack and you're screaming, are you really that happy, or is that just fake? And that's the way I see it. It's just fake. And one thing I hope that you guys take away from my videos is I'm just 100% real. That's what I am. I'm just myself. I'm just real. I'm just being me, and I'm not being fake. I'm not screaming every time I score a goal or every single time something goes wrong. I'm just being normal, which I think goes a long way. Being authentic, actually being myself, and I think that goes a long way. And I think that way I can build a better connection with you guys and become online friends with you guys, and over time that friendship will happen. So Swansea did really well actually. Then they was 2-0 down, in a bit of trouble, and then they actually managed to come back to 2-2, which I was kind of proud of them for doing that, really, because it's not necessarily an easy thing to do when you're 2-0 down against a big side, coming back to 2-2. So I was kind of happy for them that they got that 2-2. And talking of being happy, if you guys live in the UK, we're getting some damn good weather at the moment, which makes me happy also. Now, I want to talk about the Premier League for just a segment here, guys, and because on Sunday, I didn't talk about that in yesterday's episode, but on Sunday I was out all day. So I usually try and take Sundays to spend with like my family and friends and things like that. And we was out and we was talking with one of my friends about the Premier League and watching some games. And I'm a Liverpool fan, for you guys that don't know. And I was kind of hoping that, because Spurs was losing at the time, I think they got a 5-4 victory in the end against Leicester, but they was losing 3-1 at a point, and then it was kind of like 4-4, and then it went 5-4 in the end. But I was hoping they was obviously going to lose that game and Liverpool was going to win that game, which Liverpool beat Brighton 4-0, which is a good result. And that would have meant Liverpool would be third, which, for you guys that don't know, if you're in the top 4, you get to be in the Champions League, but 4th spot has to play a pre-qualifying game, so you have to play another game to confirm that you are in the Champions League. But it's usually not a really difficult game. It's usually, most teams usually win that and get through, so I don't think it's a big deal. And let me know in the comments, because I want to know your guys' knowledge as well. It's not all about what I might know about football, it's about what you might know. And I want to know, if you win the Champions League, does that mean you are automatically qualified for the Champions League next season? And I believe it does, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So anyway, guys, just kind of looking at some of the youth players here and kind of waving through them and looking, who do I want, who do I not want. And my rule for this is 15 years old, maybe 16 years old, but you have to have a potential of 94. That's how I go about doing it. You can do whichever way you want, but I think that's the most valuable to me. And I always like to train the players that aren't necessarily the players that are in the first team. I don't train Aubameyang. I'm not going to train Lacazette. I'm not going to train Mahrez, but I might train Nelson. I might train some of these youth guys, because they can come up and become really good players. I mean, Nelson might be 18 maybe now. I think he's around 74 rated. He started at maybe 68. we can get him up to 80, maybe by the end of the season, maybe 78, that sort of rating, and he's going to be worth 10 plus million then, and he's going to be a better player and help us more. Anyway guys, that's going to be enough of my rambling for today, and if you like the video, please like the video and subscribe. Thank you.